Hello, everyone. Just give me 1 second. We're going to wait for a couple people to join the stream, but welcome everybody to a stream with On Point Politics. This is going to be, maybe a 30-minute stream or so where I fundraise for the SoCal national poll that we want to conduct. So please stay tuned. We will be fundraising for that during the stream, and I'll answer the chat or, whatever we're going to do. Just make sure to stay tuned to the stream. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to, tune in, but make sure to hit the like button, which will really help out the algorithm, to subscribe to the channel and to make sure to, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you guys have your notification bell on so that you don't miss another video with On Point Politics. So if you guys could do that, it would be greatly appreciated. And so, guys, this is crazy. I literally was hacked, legitimately got hacked the other day, which is crazy. They managed to infiltrate my channel, and luckily I got it back within a day, which is good because, usually things like that are kind of, fatal, and usually they kind of, things don't really end up too well. So, thankfully, things didn't end up bad. But we are here now. I got the channel back, which is good. But other than that, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys have all had a good summer. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the comment section as a pinned chat. Okay. So guys, make sure to go ahead and really, guys, go in the description down below, go to the GoFundMe. We have this, I have this for a reason, right? This is the reason why we're doing the stream. I want to be able to fundraise for SoCal's national poll, even if it's $5, $10, anything would be greatly appreciated in terms of supporting the channel. So if you guys want to go ahead, down in the description down below, go ahead and support. It would be great if you guys would do that. And we're currently at about 20 live viewers or so. We have a decent amount of people actually watching on X. For whatever reason, X has always been the platform where I always end up having more live viewers for some reason. I don't know why that's the case. Even though I have way more of a following on YouTube, for whatever reason, it always just ends up being the case that we end up getting a lot more viewers on X than on YouTube. But guys, just go ahead, go in the description down below. If you guys could chip in anything that you possibly can. We're already 71% of the way there. So any other support would be greatly appreciated. If we were to be able to raise just a couple of, maybe not even $100, we would be able to pretty much make the poll go live tonight. We would be able to poll this literally today. And just to kind of do an overview on, what we're polling, we're doing the direction of the country. So do you think the United States is headed in the right direction, or is it in the wrong track? Economy getting better or worse compared to 1 year ago? Do you think the U.S. economy is getting better, getting worse, or staying about the same? Which we probably won't put in compared to a year ago. We may not put that in. But we also have Donald Trump, job approval. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling his job as president? So that's another question. JD Vance favorable. So what is your favorability on JD Vance, as well as a JD Vance matchup against Gavin Newsom, a matchup with JD Vance and Pete Buttigieg, a 2026 congressional ballot initiative. So if 2026 congressional elections were held today, would you vote for the Republican candidate or Democratic candidate in your district? Political party favorability. So we're going to poll the favorable rating of the Republican and Democratic parties. We're going to go ahead and do those as well. And then if you see here, approval of deportation. So do you approve or disapprove of mass deportations of undocumented migrants currently in the United States? And then Trump approval on economy. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling the U.S. economy? And then his approval on immigration. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling immigration? So those factors all put together, pretty much consolidate, really, when you put all of that together, that basically produces a pretty nice poll for us to look at the national level. And one thing that I did leave out on purpose that I wanted to mention last is we are polling 2 national figures. These are figures that are in the national conversation. They post content very regularly. And yes, they're not politicians. They are content creators. And we have decided, I vouched for this, to have both of them have a national approval poll rating. And this is the first time that either one of them is getting a national approval poll, and they have millions and millions of people watching them on YouTube. So this will be very interesting because I'm very curious to see what approval we get for both of these candidates, or not these candidates, but these national figures. I'm very curious to see what they are at, what their name ID is. So like the recognition, because you could get a survey where 75% of the voters don't know who they are, and it's like 5% of favorable and 10% unfavorable. That's not really a conclusive poll, but if that's the result we get, then that's the result we get, So if we, this is something that I'm really looking forward to, being able to put out there. I'm very excited to show whatever we find from this survey. So again, guys, make sure to go in the description down below, or if you're on X, which I see literally like everybody on the stream is pretty much watching on X. If you guys, again, I'm going to leave the link down below once again on X. If you guys want to go ahead and comment on that, or at least just take a look at it, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated if you guys would go ahead and also support the channel, or you guys could actually go support the poll on GoFundMe. Now, just really quick, I mean, if we really want to do this, I had released a Senate video not that long ago, probably like a couple hours ago. I released a video detailing like the Senate elections and stuff, what my opinions are on that. And I actually think Republicans are somewhat in a position to take a few of the seats and potentially not even lose any seats. I actually think it's a possibility that happens. I also think it's very likely that Democrats end up picking up in the House. So that is also something really interesting to keep in mind, right? We have about 60 something people watching the stream. Again, it's all very appreciated. Thank you very much for everyone tuning in. Go in the description down below and donate to our poll. We are almost at our goal. We need about $100 more in order to actually do our national poll. Election time, you says your hashtags are really old. Update your default description. Yeah, I actually should go ahead and I probably will do that after the stream is over. I should actually update my default description. But hello, nice to see you in here again. I feel like you've probably joined some of the you've probably joined in before, and I see a little bit more people are joining on YouTube. Guys, if you are on YouTube or you are on X watching the show on X, guys, go over to YouTube, hit the like button over here. It will help us out. If you want to have both tabs open, watching me, on X and on YouTube, it would be really great if you guys could do that. I am going to put the GoFundMe in the, pinned section pretty much. I'm putting it as a pinned comment. But if anybody's watching the stream on YouTube or on X, excuse me, I am going to put the YouTube link for you guys to be able to come over, like the video if you want, and just to be able to support us on this side of the internet, which would be great. I may be live for like maybe a couple more minutes. I may not be live for that much longer, to be honest with you guys, because I honestly was going to do a much longer stream. And right before I started the stream, I saw we had gotten like a $500 donation, and I was like, what in the world? So, and that's not including the original $500 donation that we got. So we are well positioned to pretty much launch the poll soon, but we do need some help still. So if anybody else could chip in who's watching this it would be greatly appreciated. We like to crowdfund all of our polling. It makes it true to the message. We poll for the people, not for corporations or media companies. So it would be greatly appreciated if you guys could donate something. Anything could help, even if it's just $5. Anything would help if you guys could actually donate. Now, just looking at this map, right, guys, just kind of like a basic, 2028 style, electoral map between JD Vance and Newsom, because they're both the betting odd favorites to win their respective nominations. So just really, when you look at it, I mean, the thing is, it's kind of iffy, right? Because you do have a nominee on Point Politics. I like your Senate prediction, North Carolina and Maine. I like your Senate prediction, North Carolina and Maine at large, and likely Michigan will go red. Yeah, I think it is, just because of the gubernatorial election. To be honest with you, I think that's, because of the fact the gubernatorial Republican candidate is going to have so much momentum because of the third-party candidate taking votes away from the Democrat, because it is the mayor of Detroit. And as you all know, Detroit's very blue. And if the mayor's running, he's going to take a lot of support away from who the Democrat candidate is. And so because of that, you will probably see some reversion, here and there. And you may actually see the Republican in the gubernatorial election win pretty easily, depending on how many votes are taken away from the respective parties. So that will be really, really interesting to, observe and see and whatnot. So, oh, that was interesting. Okay, well, so, and then we see here, again, what do you think is more likely in 2028, red New Hampshire or blue North Carolina? I would say, given the fundamentals of the race, I would say it's more likely that North Carolina probably ends up going a Republican, or excuse me, New Hampshire would go Republican as North Carolina would go blue, given the fact that, it's just, Vance isn't going to win New Hampshire and then not win North Carolina. I would honestly be really surprised if that was the case, if he just didn't. I would be shocked if he didn't actually win those. If he somehow won the Rust Belt, or he won North Carolina and didn't end up picking off New Hampshire. If he won New Hampshire red, if he got it, and then New Hampshire went blue, I would honestly be very surprised if that actually happened. I would genuinely be shocked. Right now, I'm kind of anticipating this to be the map, to be honest with you guys. I'm not really confident in a secure Vance win right now. I'm just not. I'm really not sold on it yet. A lot of people think Vance will win very easily. I don't really expect that. I think Vance is going to underperform with Hispanic voters to a degree. I think he will do worse than Donald Trump with them. I also think he's probably going to do worse with some of the more affluent white college-educated voters and some of the, non-college white voters. And this is just because, he's a part of the incumbent party. It's sometimes very hard for an incumbent, especially in the modern era, to defend themselves. And when you need all of these low propensity voters to come out and show for you, he may have a really hard time. And so I do think he beats Newsom. I just think it'll be a really, really close election. I don't think it'll be like 2024 where, yeah. And Alan says here, Vance's coalition will be wider than Trump's in 2024. That's actually true. I actually expect that to be the case. I think Vance's coalition will be much more of a wider electorate than what Donald Trump's was. Do you think that a Shapiro/Moore ticket is possible? I think it is possible, and it would be somewhat formidable. I think Shapiro overall is an okay nominee. I don't think he's that strong of a nominee as people make him out to be. To be completely fair, I actually don't think that's the case. I think he is somewhat overrated, But I think more than him, I mean, they would make a pretty decent ticket for the Democrats. Completely depends on how national trends go. 2026 will be a great determinant of the national sentiment may continue to go. And not really, because midterms are different than presidential elections. They have like 65% of the turnout of a U.S. presidential election. The extra 35% of voters could swing the election like a completely different way or another. So it's not really a good idea to kind of just base, that off of one thing, So I don't really think that would be the best thing, to do or say, you know what I'm saying? North Carolina going blue on the Senate level, not going blue. Cooper has a lot of dirt on him, especially how he handled the hurricane in the 2021 riots. I mean, yeah, guys, like Cooper is not a super strong Democrat nominee. Like he's not. I mean, they just polled the other day, and like Michael Wally has like 60% name ID, and he's behind Roy Cooper by a point. And Roy Cooper has like 95% name ID, and like he's only getting 44%. And Michael Wally's like at 43. So I actually don't think it may not translate over that well. So I don't know. A lot of governors seem to be the best candidates for both parties this cycle, but they don't have a lot of experience. They don't have the experience side of things. If Vance doesn't run in 2028, who do you think the GOP nominee will be? If it's not JD Vance, I think it will probably be somebody we don't know. I don't think it'd be Marco Rubio. I don't know if the DeSantis is going to run. And even if DeSantis were to run, I don't think he would be it. I don't think Marco would get it. I think somebody else would come in and kind of take over the reign of MAGA. I don't think DeSantis or Rubio would end up becoming the nominee, in my opinion. I'll make an argument. I actually think Vance will do better with college whites than Trump. Firstly, he think Newsom. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. But I mean, not really though, because yes, Vance, it does appeal to some subset of voters who probably do better with female voters, but Newsom will do better with men. And the problem with Vance is, yes, Vance is a very good speaker. He's good on policy. He represents the MAGA movement somewhat well to a degree, but you do have his Palantir connections. You do have his connections to Peter Thiel. You also do have his very, pro-Israel aligned stances. And that is going to actually, affect him to a degree in the election. It may not be enough to have him just straight up lose it, but it may be enough to cause a little bit of a fracture where it's not so much of a runaway race, in my opinion. I don't get why the Dems think Ohio, Alaska, and Texas and Iowa will flip. That's not going to happen. I mean, it just depends on the national environment, but I don't believe that Iowa, Ohio, Texas, or Alaska Senate seats are going to flip right now. Like, I just can't see that happening. I really doubt that would happen right now. Hey, On Point, is it possible you could endorse me for the basic politics gov sim? I'm running for Texas governor. Okay, well, is this for like the stuff on YouTube? They have like a government sim on YouTube or something like that. Is that what that is, Rachel? Is that, if you can clarify if you want, like, is that what that is? College whites who pay attention to politics will find Newsom's record as governor repugnant, while also Vance be less polarizing than Trump, which is appealing when they like some of Trump's policies. That is a good point. I think that maybe their Vance will have a strength. Georgia is a pure toss-up in 2026. I actually don't think that's the case. I actually think Mike Collins will beat Ossoff pretty easily. And if you look at the polling, John Ossoff, as an incumbent, is only getting 44% out the gate. And when you think about it, he barely beat in a runoff. Didn't even beat him on the first ballot, by the way. Like, if there was no runoffs in Georgia, David Perdue would be the senator of Georgia right now. Like, John Ossoff would have not gotten elected. So just FYI, like, John Ossoff is not a strong candidate. Like, he literally lost to a rhino Republican on the first ballot in Georgia when Biden won it at the presidential level. Like, it is actually really bad that it's actually really, really bad that he ended up losing on the first ballot. I don't think he's that strong of a candidate. Like, I don't think he is. Newsom is not a great candidate, has a lot of problems, will run in Cali. Yes, but again, guys, during elections, a lot of times policy to a lot of voters really doesn't matter. And this is kind of just the truth. Rachel said, yes. Okay, well, guys, there's some YouTube election thing on here. Rachel's running for Texas governor or something. So on the 16th of August, which is in 3 days, there'll probably be a community post for it. So I'll just probably repost it or something, and she'll win by like 50 points. Mike, Nintendo Master. Oh, I already read that. Matt said, what is the likelihood of a mid-decade reapportionment? Well, it's possible. It's possible they do a new census, but it is by law in the Constitution in certain states that it is not used to be, it's not really used to, it's like it won't affect the state's like electoral votes during the mid-decade, if that makes sense. So they could do it, but it's really not going to have any, it's really not going to translate the same way. It's not going to be useful in the way that we want it to be useful right now. I'm running as an independent against a Rhino Republican. Okay, wow, that's bad. He was an incumbent and he overperformed in the national environment. Who? John Ossoff? No, he wasn't. You're talking about David Perdue. I mean, well, that just speaks to how bad of a candidate John Ossoff was. John Ossoff should have won that race by 5 points, but he didn't. He lost to the first ballot on a Rhino Republican. So I'm just saying, like, he's not as good as people think he is. Like, I'm just saying, I mean, we'll poll it later on and we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but my general instinct kind of just says that he's not as good of a candidate as people actually think he is. On point, I'm going to be honest, after hearing your explanation on Georgia, you're probably right. I mean, I think I'm right. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I mean, I was wrong about the swing states. I thought Trump was going to win Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania by over 5 points, and he did it. I mean, I got pretty close to Nevada and Arizona. I was only like 1.5 points off in both of those. I at least got those right. Georgia and North Carolina weren't my best, but like Texas, Florida, New Jersey, New York, California, like those big states, I got all the margins within like a point, basically. Like I got it within margin of error. So as far as I'm aware, like I did a pretty good job in those states. And obviously, guys, I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that misses like that don't happen again. Like I have a whole team now, and we're building like this model in Google Sheets that we're not going to really reveal because it's very sophisticated. So we don't want to kind of just give that out to anybody. But we are building a model, and instead of it kind of focusing on the state-like trend, it actually shifts everything by county. So the shifts will be very dynamic, and you'll be able to kind of play around with the demographic modeling. Polling will also help us with that. Factoring in accurate polling will help us with the model as well. So I'm actually really excited for 2028 because I've already learned my mistakes from that election, and we're going to be carrying on forward, and we're going to be much more accurate than we were back then. So, that's just what I really have to say about that. We say here, in hot take, in under 6 months, a majority of Democrat will intentionally get themselves arrested to surge in the 2028 polling by creating a false sense of anti-Trump martyr effect. I mean, that's possible, but I don't know how likely it is that half of the Democrat nomination will get it. If it's not Vance, Rubio, or DeSantis, I see Tulsi Gabbard or Josh Hawley as the GOP nominee. It's possible, but I don't think so. Yeah, okay, I already saw that comment. Bro, thank you so much. I love your channel. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate it. Yeah, but for some reason, people vote for him, the typical establishment Rhino Republican that get bullied, that gets votes. Well, either way, I'll repost your thing on the 16th. I mean, actually, let me just find your channel here, and let me subscribe really quick because I'm gonna have to be able to, endorse you. So, okay, all that matters is he is one of them, and North Carolina was dragged down by Robinson. Yeah, it's true. Young Rancher says, on point, who are the top 5 most underrated election pundits and analysis besides yourself? I'm trying to make election night videos to start up my channel. Well, I would say in terms of like just election pundits and analysts, I would say that the best thing to do, I would say probably Mark Halpern is definitely one of them. I mean, he's been a journalist for 15 years. He's been in the space. They kind of got rid of him after he was right about Trump winning in 2016. He was the only one on MSNBC that was like, yeah, Trump actually has a chance to beat Hillary. And they were like, no, you're silly. Nah, there's no way. And then obviously, and then he won. So Mark Halpern is very good at what he does. He's a very good journalist, got a really good platform on two-way. Hopefully I can get on there sometime soon. I would love to have a conversation with him on two-way. I mean, I've talked to him on there before, but I would actually like to be a guest on the show, like for a whole episode. I think it would be really cool. I think I'd be able to provide a lot of insight to the two-way community. Vance will most likely be the nominee in 28. Yeah. Paxton has already urged the arrest of O'Rourke. I think my theory could apply there, if not elsewhere. Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Matt says, thank you for keeping the conversation going, Lester. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, yeah, I like talking to you guys. I like doing this stuff. I just hadn't really had an opportunity to live stream until like recently, and I've been very busy trying to fundraise and stuff. So luckily, we'll probably be getting there soon. But guys, we have not raised anything during the stream. So please, if you guys can go on the GoFundMe link, it is in the pinned chat on YouTube. I will also, once again, a lot of people are watching this stream on X, believe it or not. So I will go ahead and drop this in here. I will go ahead and drop the link once again on X, and I will also put it up on the screen here, guys. Just even $1, $5, like anything you guys can, like would be greatly, greatly appreciated, guys. Like anything you guys can provide would be appreciated. So I would really, really hope that somebody in here donates, even if it's just one person, that's okay. It would be really, really appreciated. How will you map on screen carry down ballot? I don't understand your question. You're gonna have to like repeat that. On point opinion on Georgia and its political future. It's gonna be like a swing state. I mean, either it'll go Democrat or go Republican, depending on who the candidates are, depending on what year it is. I think it's going to be kind of iffy. I don't think it's going to be one of those states that ends up like trending super left forever. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of conservative groups are doing a lot of work down there. So I just don't think it's going to be like a super big leaning state, like either way. So, you know, Ballot Enterprise says, good evening. Sorry, don't have a lot of money. That's okay. Yeah, I'm on a budget in college. That's fine. What happened with the hacker situation? I mean, somebody just hacked my channel. They were able to get in, lock me out. But luckily, I was able to get in through the back end. I appealed the loss of the channel because they uploaded like a crypto scam or something. So I just, uploaded, I did the appeal. They helped me reset my password and I got it back. So that's good. How does your map affect the Senate and House and governor races in 2028? It's too early to tell. I haven't really given that much thought. I mean, I don't know. Will we be able to download the model you're building? Unfortunately, this time, guys, I mean, the models I used to make before took me like an hour or two to make. This model that we're making and the models that I've made for my recent videos where I shift everything by county have taken me like a week, or this one, we have a team of like about 4 people building this new Google Sheets model. So we're really like, it's a big deal. Like, you're going to be able to shift by age, by race, by gender, by like employment status, whether or not you're on food stamps, like transportation method. Like, we are going balls to the wall with the next model. And this will probably be the final one that we use for the election, because we've been testing it out today and all the county maps shift. Like, the shift makes sense. Like, it's actually properly moving. It's actually going to be better than the one I've been using in my previous videos. So I'm excited to show it off. But all right, guys, it's been about half an hour, and we're pretty much going to wrap it up here. December 10th, the Nobel Peace Prize will be announced. Think Trump gets it? I don't know. He may not. I don't think they are going to want to give him it. But all right, guys, that is it. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Again, guys, make sure to go ahead if you can donate to the GoFundMe. We are literally so close to being able to launch the poll. Would be greatly appreciated if you guys can go ahead and do that. And yes, Rachel, I do remember the election. And if not, comment on one of my videos and remind me. So I check the comments. So just comment on one of my videos and let me know. Matt, I'll throw a little at the GoFundMe tomorrow. Remind me. Do you mind donating right now? Because like we're literally like we are so close to being able to launch it tonight. And I don't want to have fundraised and then you get to miss out on the opportunity of helping us. So if you could donate now, Matt, that would be great. If you could, just because we might be able to finish tonight. I had just already scheduled the stream anyway, so I wasn't gonna just not stream. So all right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys very, very soon.